Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. All right, happy Veterans Day. Next week will mark 1 year since my recent return to the dating scene. And one thing I've noticed is that since my return to the dating scene, one thing that has constrained my dating life more than anything else is that at the workplaces, a lot of um, a lot of employers, both mine and the people that I'm dating, treat singles very differently, right? Asking for a day off as a single individual is a very different concept. The other thing that constrains it is the fact that myself and the people that I'm dating often have to carry our entire load to ourselves, right? So let me give you an example. A little bit over a year ago, we had a solar eclipse in Kerrville, Texas. I live in Phoenix, Arizona. I'll let you Google how far that is on a driving distance. Now, on the way there, I ran into a lot of drama on the road because I would park my car and go to sleep. I I had parked at a library. After spending some time in the library, I went to my car to sleep. Next thing I know, a police officer thinks I'm drunk, thinks I'm high, and all that. And that's not an unusual circumstance when I take a road trip of any sort. I had gone to another solar eclipse a few months before that, and the earlier eclipse was in the morning, and I didn't want to oversleep. So what I had done was I pulled into a shop and I looked at the window. They open at 7. And I came up with this brilliant idea. Or what I thought was, well, it turned out okay. But what I thought was the most ingenious life hack. I parked my car horizontally across the front door of the business because I knew by the time at 7 when the employees started showing up, they would be very upset about that and knock my door like loudly, right? There's no way I'm going to sleep through that, right? And the reason I wanted to do that was not only did I want to get woken up, but I wanted to take some melatonin because I wanted to make sure I got good sleep. And the next day, it was already 3 a.m., and I wanted to take melatonin, and I wanted to make sure somebody would wake me up at 7. And so I parked horizontally. Well, the problem is that I also looked very stupid doing that. And so a local police officer pounded on my window asking me how much I had to drink. Without any asking, how much do you have to drink tonight? Oh, nothing. I want to see a lunar eclipse tomorrow. What time is it? And I was very upset that it was only 4 a.m. And so the officer didn't know there was going to be a solar eclipse the next day. He got so confused out of his mind. Anyways, that's the drama I run into when I try to take a. And also, this year, right now, I don't know, is it still going on? But there's a government shutdown. I had so much wanted to visit Yosemite during a government shutdown. It's really nice to go there when the parks are open overnight. Normally, when government is available, they don't let you do that. But I couldn't find time to take that trip, in large part because of situations like that. If there are two of us driving, it would be a very different story. Anyway, what I wanted to point out is that this is the reason I returned to the dating scene, right? The dramas with that. I was shopping for car insurance. This was 8 years ago, and I was at the time I had just gotten into a car accident, so obviously the premium was a little bit higher uh, than what I'm now paying, even with all the inflation of late. And I was asking the car insurance agent, well, how long would I have to go without an accident for the premium to be whatever and whatever? And she typed into her computer, this was 2017 we were talking. She started quoting, what it would be in 2018, 19, 20, so on. And it was a big encouragement for me to stay accident free. But then she typed something else into her computer. She goes, Andrew, why don't you get married? Look at how much your car insurance would be. It was the savings immediately if I got married today would be more than what it would be in 2020 after 3 years of no accidents. And so at the time I was really upset at the remark because I I just left a somewhat toxic relationship, and also there were other things going on in my life. I was working on a computer Olympiad project, and I just pivoted careers. I was teaching at Washington Technology University, and do I want to get married someday? Maybe, but at the time there was too much going on. And to then learn that I'm penalized for not doing it, in large part because of my life circumstances not allowing for it at the time, this is very upsetting. I was so upset. When I got home, I wrote on my dating profile, I learned today that if I got married, my insurance would be 50, 60% lower. Does anybody want to get married so that both of us can save on car insurance? And it was a joke. I didn't really expect much of it. A couple days later, my phone goes ablaze. Not only from the joke and haha, but some you gotta understand. All sorts of people use dating apps. Some people just happen to be insurance salespeople. They're like, "Can I quote your insurance for you? Let's see what's going on." And amidst all of that, there was this one Asian girl. She was studying she was from China. She was here studying biology, if you could believe it. She responds to me, "I'm interested," and I was curious how much does she pay on car insurance. I wanted to continue the joke with her. How much do you pay on car insurance? What kind of car do you drive? And I learned she doesn't even drive. She was interested in somebody who could think outside of the box. Now, we had gone to a restaurant in downtown Seattle, and while there, I got really excited because you got to understand, finding time is tricky enough. So when our schedules happen to line up, I get too excited. I forgot that I had left my laptop on the back seat, visibly, and somebody broke into my car and stole it. And it's just really funny that the reason we had met was over this car insurance joke, and then next thing we know, somebody broke into my car. But that's exactly what I preach about, just not having flexible schedules and always running last minute. Now, what do I plan to do about all of this injustice and all that? Well, I got an ingenious solution. Instead of pursuing the injustice, I'm going to accumulate as much strategic metals as I can, especially indium right now, which is undervalued. The only problem is that we don't have that $800 exemption on the tariffs anymore. I hope Trump's tariffs will get overturned. I'm going to hoard up on indium. I have a few ideas on what to cast it into. So, indium is very soft and very malleable, so you want to cast it into big things so they don't deform. But I want to. Indium has a very low melting point, 150 some degrees Celsius. I want to make some big Buddhas out of it, and one of these days, indium's unlike bismuth. Indium is actually one of the metals that may go extinct in the coming decades. And when I have $10 billion worth of indium, and my job gives me heck about going on a date on a Friday afternoon, no, I'll come back to the job. I hope you still want me, but if you don't, that's fine. And then go on my date, right? Or when I want to go to Kerrville to see a solar eclipse, I'll take a few extra days off, or I'll stay in a nice hotel along the way, and I won't need that partner anymore, right? And I'll be able to pursue that partner in peace, right? Not, oh my God, I need it because otherwise I can't pay my car insurance bill, right? Well, I'll be able to just write that car insurance bill check without thinking about it when I'm at that point anyway, right? This is the Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum. The Peter Dislike Show. Bum 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 bum.